this is Steve here from Charlie Noise Games and Collectibles, just checking in again with our weekly update on how we're going with our $100 investment into collectibles and seeing how far we can grow that over the space of a year. Again, no sales this week, so just here to readjust the pricing on the items that we have listed. So it was these three. We had the Final Fantasy VIII Renoa, the Selfie here, and then the Auron from Final Fantasy X. Again, no bites yet. Carry on increasing our sort of listing views though over that last period of time. So hopefully we'll adjust these down again, inspire somebody to sort of have a little nibble, and maybe we'll get one of these sold, and then we can start looking into turning that over into other collectibles. So while we're here, I just thought I might show people what the back end of eBay looks like for people who have subscribed to the eBay selling platform. Sorry. And how that looks. So we might jump into Renoa, and I'll show you sort of how that looks for somebody who's making listings and trying to sell on eBay. But before we do that, let's just adjust down these prices. I was thinking median sold price on Selfie reckons it's 125 now. Let's bring this down to. Well, we did 10% last time. We'll do another 10%. We'll bring her down to 65. Hopefully that'll inspire somebody to take the plunge. That one is good. It's in particularly good condition. The box, there was a specific issue with it. I had this issue last time. Hang on, I think I just need to refresh the page. It's been sitting on there for too long. We'll try that again. Sorry about that. Commit. Fingers crossed this time. There we go. That's better. And Auron will bring him down by another 65. No, another 10 to 165. There we go. That sounds a bit more like it. Interestingly enough, less interest in him than in the other two. I think possibly price related. I just think, I don't know, maybe I'm biased. I did like Final Fantasy a lot more than those earlier games. And as far as like the characters go, I thought he was just a traditionally cooler character than Tidus and Yuna, who were the other two from this series. But that's just me, maybe. Anyway, let's jump into. Oh, sorry, I was going to say I did think that I'd made a sale. It was. I got my little sort of notification that something had been sold, and then when I saw Final Fantasy, I was like, "Oh, we're away!" But no, this was another listing that had sold, that I'd had on the storefront from a little while ago, and we'll get rid of this. So this is my normal seller hub, which tracks things that are sort of awaiting postage. It's a little dashboard kind of area to sort of keep track of how things are going. You can sort of jump in here, and so as you can see, I haven't made any sales today, but in the last week, $260. And then if you click on anything, it'll take you to sort of a more detailed breakdown of what it is that you're looking at. So, let's say I just wanted to see how much revenue we've generated over, since the start of the financial year. Just sort of go to the custom sales settings and input that. And there you can see. It'll give us our total sales minus the selling costs incurred by eBay themselves, and then net. Now, obviously, our net sales doesn't take into consideration things like postage or the price of the product that you're selling in the first place. So it is important to keep records of that and keep track of all that, because once you get to tax time, the ATO will kindly just assume that this is all profit. It doesn't, unless you can prove otherwise. So yeah, worth holding on to, or at least recording your receipts for the money that you've outlaid, sort of keeping the store going. Anyway, we'll close that down. Where was it? Oh, okay. So we just open up this page here. So when somebody searches for an item and they get into, you know, the listings that eBay shows them, when they click on something, this is the page that they're going to see minus all this stuff at the top. So this is what you would see if you were to click on our listing here, with all the sort of appropriate and necessary details. Just down here is this is us here, and this is our feedback. As you can see, 100% positive feedback over 3.3k items, and we're a 5 across all categories. I might do a little bit more of a detailed sort of look into how we make this happen a little bit later. I think later tonight. I was planning on sort of updating some listings on the store, throwing a few more listings up, so I can walk through kind of how it is I like to list things personally and go through things like postage price and packaging and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, if we sort of jump into revised listing here, it'll bring us up to this is what our page looks like when we go to sell an item. There's a little preamble thing where you sort of you describe what it is that you're selling. So you're selling a magic card off an MTG, and then the set that it's from, and then the name of the card, and then there'll be like a little AI kind of tool that it will try to determine what it is exactly that you're trying to sell, and then you can just do lots of little drop-down boxes for all the sort of finer details. And it does streamline things to a degree, but every now and then it will get it wrong. You just sort of manually go in and edit stuff, delete stuff. Same with the AI descriptions on items as well. You're going to describe your item. It'll just give you some AI-generated waffle, which will give you a general description of, the game that it's from, for example, or the set of magic that it's from, but it won't give any sort of specifics about the item that you're selling. So I like to just disregard that generally and just type my own. Usually it's sort of fairly transferable if you're selling sort of similar, like multiple sort of like or similar items. You can just copy and paste it across, and just tweak the names of things. Anyway, so as you can see here, we've got plenty of space for photos. It'll allow you to take up to sort of 25 photos. So you've got plenty of scope to document the condition of your item. I will always, if there's damaged items, damage to boxes, or if the box is open, or if there's, a damaged or scuffed part of the item within the box, I will always take photos of that, because it's better to document it and display it early so people can make an informed decision about what it is they're buying and not be surprised later on when it shows up at their door, because that's when you get into trouble. That's when people start disputing the condition of the item. That's when you're likely to get into problems with people requesting refunds and all that sort of stuff. Doesn't happen much, as long as you're honest with the details of what it is that you're selling. So feel free to read this, but this isn't. I mean, it's editable from this screen, but this is exactly what you'll see on the store page if you open up. And obviously this is the option. This is where we price our item, and then if you're selling multiple of the same thing, you can adjust quantities. And then when you're charging or determining your price of postage, you'll do a flat sort of postage rate, and then you can adjust the additional postage for each additional item. And then there's a thing known as the flat postage rule, which I'll use on cards specifically because it doesn't cost more to send 1 versus 2 cards, but the further up you go, the more likely it is that you're going to need more packaging material, sort of stuff. So I do factor that into my flat postage rule. So, but I don't do it with boxed items. So if somebody buys multiple boxed items from me, they'll have the option of requesting an invoice, in which case I can bundle postage together. And that happens regularly, and it's also not at all a problem. So we have downshifted this price to 125 from 135. That's all I wanted to do today. We'll revise this. That should be good to go. Done. And we'll see what happens over the next week. And I do apologize for getting this one up late today. I came straight off nights yesterday, and I was feeling and looking particularly garbage, and I didn't want to subject you guys to all that. I wasn't really sort of able to string a coherent sentence together. So thought we're better off just leaving it for 24 hours. Anyway, that's all done now. Hopefully we get some movement now. But if not, I'll see you guys again next week. And in the meantime, if you fancy liking this video and subscribing to the channel, or even leaving a comment down below, that would be really helpful for me to grow and get some eyes on this thing. I think that's all I've got to say. I'll leave you to it, and thank you very much. Catch you on the next one.